guys, you're watching the 7th video in my series of turning this Tuff Shed into my dream workshop. In the last video, I did a tutorial on how to whitewash the tongue and groove ceiling. In this video, I'm going to be spraying a few coats of polyurethane on the ceiling, priming the walls, and painting the walls all with the same Wagner Control Pro 170 paint sprayer. You can find this paint sprayer linked in the description below, as well as the other painting supplies that I used. Let's get to spraying. The first project to tackle is spraying polyurethane on the ceiling. I'm going to be spraying 2 coats of this fast drying water-based polyurethane from Behr. It leaves a crystal clear finish, which is important on whitewash. You don't want a polyurethane that's going to dry with a yellow tone. I decided to go with a satin finish, which leaves just a slight soft shine. I'm using my Wagner Control Pro 170 paint sprayer to apply the polyurethane with this 413 tip. Before spraying, I put plastic over all the windows and doors and other fixtures. I bought this portable scaffold from Lowe's, which was so helpful for this project. I was able to hold on to the safety rail with one hand, spray with the other, and then Devin was a trooper and rolled me around on the scaffold to get every inch of the ceiling. I'll link this scaffold below. Proper protective equipment is essential for spraying any poly, stain, or paint. It's very important to have safety glasses, a respirator mask, and gloves. You'll see that I have a bucket next to me. I kept a bucket of hot water nearby so that when I was done spraying or needed to take a break, I could just set the nozzle into the bucket of water, and that kept the tip from drying out. We didn't do any sanding in between coats. After one coat of polyurethane was applied, we waited for about an hour and then applied the second coat. We only needed 2 coats of poly. This will help to protect the wood, and it gives the tongue and groove the perfect amount of shine. I think the poly softens the look of the whitewash a little bit and leaves a really nice finish. After the polyurethane was finished and dried, I prepped the walls for primer and paint. I taped plastic over all the windows, doors, outlets, and switches. I covered anything with plastic that I didn't want to get paint on. Devin also helped me to cover a majority of the ceiling. I wanted to make it so that I could quickly spray on the primer and paint and not have to worry about getting paint on anything. Prep work takes a little bit of time, but it's so worth it because priming and painting with the paint sprayer goes so fast and the finish looks very professional. Before priming, I went around and wiped down all the walls. I'm using this multi-purpose primer from Benjamin Moore, and for paint, I'm using this Regal Select interior paint from Benjamin Moore in the color Chantilly Lace and in an eggshell finish. The paint tip that I'm using for priming and painting is 517. I have my Wagner Control Pro 170 all set up with primer. I want to thank Wagner for sponsoring this video. You guys know I love my Wagner paint sprayers. I have a few different sprayers that I use depending on the size of project. I wrote a blog post on that linked below if you're not sure what type of sprayer to go with. This Control Pro 170 applies a consistent, high quality finish on large home improvement projects such as decks, fences, exterior house siding, interior walls, and more. I've used the sprayer to stain fences and to paint the entire exterior of my parents' house and our house, and I'm excited to use it again here. This sprayer pulls paint directly out of a 1 or 5 gallon container, which means less annoying refills. The Control Pro also cuts overspray up to 55% compared to other airless paint sprayers. One of my favorite features is the incredibly light spray gun, which saves my wrists. Like I mentioned before, before, I made sure to keep a bucket of warm, soapy water on hand so that if I needed to take a break or move my equipment around, I could drop the spray gun into the bucket of warm water so that the paint didn't dry up in the nozzle. I sprayed 1 coat of primer and 1 thick coat of paint. I used about 2 gallons of each primer and paint. Each coat only took me about 20 minutes. Like I mentioned before, the prep is a little tedious and maybe a little more time consuming, but that makes painting so much faster and more efficient, and the results with a paint sprayer are so much better and more professional looking in my opinion. When using a paint sprayer, here are a few tips. Overlap each stroke by about 50%. This will ensure an even coating. Flex your wrist as you move. The gun should always remain perpendicular to the wall. The distance from the spray gun to the spray object should not exceed 18 inches. Between 10 and 12 inches is ideal. Overlap the pattern about 50%. Release the trigger at the end of each pass and start the gun in motion before pulling the trigger. We have Chantilly lace white all throughout our house, and now here in the workshop, it's a great white with no yellow or blue undertones. I wanted the workshop to feel nice and light and bright, and this is a perfect white to help achieve that. The ceiling is finished, it's protected, and it looks beautiful. The walls are painted a nice crisp white, and now we're finally ready to install flooring. In the next video, I'm going to be sharing a tutorial on how to install luxury vinyl plank flooring, so stay tuned for that. The workshop is so close to being finished. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.